Sinan, right now we're in a global recession right now, and there's been a tightening of money going, of funds going around right now. What are some of the investment firms? What are they asking for in terms of technology in the middle of this recession? What are they expecting their technology to perform?
Well, I think it's about technologies that will help them increase their utilization of their assets, technology assets, reduce costs, improve their productivity across the board. And that's essentially what the focus is, in order to become far more cost effective in everything they do. There's not a whole lot of impetus to create a new initiative or support new projects, but any technology that will help them to increase their productivity and bring down cost is good.
Sure. So are they doing smaller projects these days? Are they putting projects on hold? Or is the day of the big project hibernating right now? Is it taking a nap?
Well, I wouldn't make a distinction between big and small. If the payoff is there in a major consolidation effort, that might be a big project in order to consolidate infrastructure to a smaller footprint and therefore realize very short-term savings. And planning that, designing that may be a significant project, but it is for the purpose of a cost takeout, and it will see the green light. I think there are very few initiatives that are funded that are just brand new projects, new business initiatives or new product development. That's on hold.
Right.
It may happen on a very small scale or investigative efforts, but not longer term projects for anything that is an add-on or a new business.
We're also seeing some large scale mergers going on right now, where major banks are merging with one another, and they have to get their back offices and their data centers on the same page. Is that a large scale project? Is that a big nightmare for these firms?
Well, it gets to be confusing. Obviously, when two large organizations become one, there's a rationalization effort that goes on, and things put on hold because people will have to figure out where all the pieces fit. And there are delays. And on the other hand, when there are budgeted efforts, funded efforts prior to the merger, there's an impetus to complete them before the final organization is set and cast in concrete. There's some urgency to complete projects that were underway before the merger is final. So we see that too. Those are fewer, but
right.
Generally there is delay in moving forward. There are subsequent reviews and repetitive analyses.
Okay.
More people to go through.
Sure, but at the same time, firms have to prepare for when the sun does shine. They have to prepare when the economy does return and when it's business as usual again. So they can't put everything on hold just for now.
No, not everything, but it's significant enough that it does impact a business. They may be doing a lot of planning, but that doesn't necessarily generate spending. I mean, planning is very spendthrift activity.
Sure.
Nobody has to purchase anything to do even more detailed planning.
Right.
So I'm sure they are planning for the day when the economy will grow. And when that day comes, I think we'll see some pickup. There will be some latent demand. And we're hopeful that we're back to normal.
Sure, we all do. So tell me about your product service offering called Wrap the Trading Edition. Mm-hmm. Are we coming up on a one-year birthday of
yes.
the Wrap Trading Edition?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it and how it's being used inside investment firms?
Yeah. Well, Sybase Wrap is essentially a platform solution that builds a consolidated data repository for real-time and historical data to support both electronic trading and post-trade processing of transactions and information presentation to risk managers, to compliance officers, and also to do enterprise-level reporting of a single image consolidated data that integrates market data, trade data, and reference data.
Sure. So, so you mentioned the R word. You know, we're living in the this is the year of risk right now.
Right.
So you actually offer some risk risk management or risk mitigation. You know, inside Sybase Wrap.
Well, we offer the data services that enable intraday risk analytics and risk reporting across the board, different asset classes, market risk and credit risk and counterparty risk, and therefore help enterprises to manage their balance sheet exposure much more tightly.
Okay, okay. How important is counterparty risk right now?
It has become the issue of the past 6 months, if not the past year, and it is becoming almost imperative that everybody get a much better understanding of their counterparty risk exposure on a day-to-day basis. I don't think anyone can afford to wait right now, end of the week or end of the month reports. And it is also some thing that is going to be increasingly scrutinized by governments around the world.
Because if you wait till the end of the week or the end of the month, your counterparty might not be there anymore.
Yes, and it has happened in September past year, and it may, there's still that risk, there's still that uncertainty. Can
you get a true picture of counterparty risk? Because if you went back this time last year and you said Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers were going to disappear, people would just shake their head and say there's no way that was going to happen, especially with Lehman Brothers, you know, because they had yet to collapse. Can you get a real picture of counterparty risk?
Well, I think you can improve your visibility to counterparty risk by doing the things that wasn't being done before, simply because the assumption was it wasn't necessary to have counterparty risk reevaluated and re-examined on a daily basis or on a T+1 basis.
Right.
But now everyone realizes that this could happen to organizations like Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers, and therefore there's more emphasis on it.
Right.
I don't know if anyone could have foreseen last year what turned out to be one crisis after another throughout the summer.
Right.
But now that it is hindsight, and now we can learn from it, we can make sure that we don't have to repeat the same experience again some other time in the future.
So there's plenty of lessons to be learned what happened in the past 12 months.
Right.
There's a new historical set of guidelines that people can take a look at.
Right. So we can always look at the things that we didn't do well or we weren't paying attention to,
right,
and learn to do them well and pay attention to it all the time, constantly. And that gives us a higher degree of control. We can't, the uncertainty will be there all the time, and we can't mitigate risks all the time, all the risks all the time, definitely. But it's a matter of probabilities. How do we increase the probability of surviving a crisis is what matters.
Right.
And that's what the effort is.